indictment against Trump is drawing a broad spectrum of reactions, largely breaking down along political lines.
Of course it is. Let's get some perspective now from CNN political commentator Michael Smerconish. He's also the host of CNN's Smerconish, airing later this morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Michael, good to see you this morning. So on your Twitter account, I mean, you posed an interesting question. Is the prosecution of Donald Trump by Alvin Bragg political? And you offer some interesting scenarios, different ways to see this. Break that down for us.
Well, at its core, these are 7-year-old facts based on a transaction involving sex. And I'm asking whether, if Donald Trump had gone quietly into the night after losing in 2020, he'd still be facing this indictment today. And I have my doubts that that would be the case. That kind of raises a question as to whether it's political. I mean, you have the Washington Post and the New York Times, among others, not exactly right-of-center publications, regarding the legal theories that we think we're going to see, I have to stress that, as being risky or novel or untested. I mean, at its core, it's a falsifying business records case, we think, with a 2-year-old statute of limitations, and that's a misdemeanor case, as the two of you have been discussing this morning. So you've got to elevate it to felony status by adding in additional crimes. And that involves some legal gymnastics. That's what we've never seen before. Is it worth it at the end? Is this going to cloud the court of public opinion before what I think is the real serious threat to President Trump, former President Trump? And that's the Jack Smith investigation, the special counsel for those Mar-a-Lago documents that probably results in an obstruction of justice charge.
Michael, let's talk about what's right in front of us, and that's the arraignment coming in just a couple of days. Jessica just walked through some of the efforts to create this inconspicuous entry and exit, and of course, because of safety and the president's Secret Service detail. Do you think this president wants to kind of slink in and slip out, or does he want the big moment? The campaign says he's raised more than $4 million since the announcement of the indictment, and a speech either at Trump Tower or there at the courthouse that would play into his playbook.
It's funny you raise that, Victor, because I've been thinking the same thing. And my speculation is that behind closed doors, there's probably a negotiation taking place between the Secret Service telling him this is the way we need to do this so as to safeguard your safety. But I'd be floored if Tuesday were to come and go without there being some moment where Donald Trump, wants to engage and embrace this. I mean, who or what will be the first to put a mugshot on a T-shirt if it ever gets out? I could see him using it for fundraising purposes. I could see his opponents trying to use it to besmirch him. I got to believe the circus is coming to town. That's my hunch.
I mean, you've got at least two schools of thought here, right? I mean, regarding whether or not this is just about accountability, just underscoring that no one is above the law. And then you have the other side where, of course, a lot of Republicans criticizing this move, saying it's political weaponization of the justice system, but also it will further divide the country. That's what we heard Vice President Mike Pence say, and that this is a way to interfere with Trump's 2024 run. Just a big picture here, Michael, is this good or bad for this country that's already just in toxic political waters?
Well, I don't know, because I get the argument on one side that nobody is above the law. What I'm asking and trying to make clear is this the case that's in the nation's best interest to pursue, or would it be one of the other looming possible charges? My own hunch is that some of those Republicans who quickly rallied around the former president in this case would not have done so if it were some of the more serious charges that he faces pertaining to January 6th or possible obstruction related to Mar-a-Lago. And I haven't even mentioned Fulton County yet. So there's a lot out there that's swirling around him, but this is the one that's going first. Doesn't mean it'll be the first to get to trial, but I think it is going to create an impression among people who aren't paying very close attention to all of this. What are all these investigations about? Oh, he ends up getting indicted for the 7-year-old case about sex.
What are the callers saying into your radio show? I mean, we're talking on television, we're hearing from members of Congress, but Republican voters, are they as passionate about this as some of their elected leaders on the Hill are?
Victor, what are the callers saying? Largely that I'm wrong.
Okay.
I mean,
All
truly,
right.
like the reaction largely has been like, why are you bending over backwards, to provide him with the cover? And I'm like, no, that's not where I'm coming from. I'm looking at it as a lawyer, and I'm saying you got 4 possible buckets of cases here, and to me, this is the weakest. And I think there were others that, frankly, they've had enough time to investigate. What has taken so long to bring all these things to closure?
Well, the timing surprised a lot of people on this one. We'll see what the timing is on these other investigations, especially Georgia, with the Fulton County DA there saying imminent months ago. Michael, thank you so
Right.
much.
Yep.
And everyone, be sure to tune
See you
in
guys. Thank you.
to Michael's show, 9 a.m. this morning, right here on CNN. Thanks, Michael. Security has been stepped up, as we said, in New York ahead of former President Trump's court appearance Tuesday. A look at the measures in place before the appearance. That's coming up.
The White House says it has, quote, deep concern for an American journalist currently detained in Russia. The urgent warning the State Department has for Americans who are still in Russia now.